In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on June 12, 2022. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 2 betting picks a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago Cubs versus New York Yankees. The Chicago Cubs have been struggling this season as they are 23-34. Which is 4th in the National League Central right now. Chicago has righty Keegan Thompson on the bump as he is coming off a losing effort against the Baltimore Orioles, as he threw 3 innings and allowed 7 runs on 5 hits with 2 hit by pitches, a walk, and a strikeout. The New York Yankees have been dominating their opponents this season as they have the best record in all of baseball at 42-16. They will be sending right-hander Jameson Taylor to pitch and is coming off a no decision against the Minnesota Twins as he threw 4 innings and allowed 4 runs on 9 hits with a walk and 3 strikeouts. The Cubs are 7-19 in their last 26 interleague games. The Cubs are also 21-48 in their last 69 versus a team with a winning record, and are 7-17 in their last 24 games after losing the first 2 games of a series. The Yankees are 4-0 in their last 4 interleague home games and are 7-1 in their last 8 interleague games as a favorite. The Yankees are also 10-2 in their last 12 interleague games. The New York Yankees have been doing everything a winning team should do as they lead the majors in ERA and home runs. Compare that to what the Chicago Cubs are doing, as they are tied for 24th in home runs and 23rd in team ERA. Both Jameson Taylor and Keegan Thompson have pitched very well this season, but these lineups are at 2 completely different levels where Thompson could struggle. The Cubs are struggling to score many runs as of late, as they have scored 7 runs in their previous 4 games. Keegan Thompson has been solid all year, but he's still a young pitcher, and he's allowed 10 hits and 10 runs in his last 8.1 innings. Not what you want to see when going on the road to play this Yankees lineup. Jameson Taylor has allowed 12 runs in his last 43.1 innings, and he has a 2.31 ERA at home this season. As if there weren't a bunch of other reasons to blindly back the Yankees in their current form. So the New York Yankees moneyline is our full game side pick. The Cubs are averaging 4.37 runs per game and 4 runs per game on the road. They averaged 3.67 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Yankees, with New York giving up 2.84 runs per game at home. The Cubs will be held under their average in this game. The Yankees are averaging 4.84 runs per game and 4.74 runs per game at home. They averaged 6 runs per game in their last 3 games against the Cubs. The Cubs and Yankees played under the total in 6 of their last 8 meetings. I understand the New York Yankees offense has been dominant this season, but this is more on the Chicago Cubs. Neither team actually hits well with runners in scoring position this season, as the Cubs are 25th in the sport with a .226 batting average, while the Yankees are 27th with a .224 batting average in those situations. Keegan Thompson and Jameson Taylor have been pitching extremely well this season so far and should be able to make this more of a pitcher's duel. The Yankees can have more of a punt game lineup and try to get an additional day of rest for some guys here to weaken the lineup. With Chicago giving up 4.85 runs per game on the road, the Yankees won't score enough runs to push the score. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Milwaukee Brewers versus Washington Nationals. Milwaukee will try to avoid getting swept when it faces Washington in the final game of a 3-game series. The Nationals have exploded offensively over the past 2 days, starting with an 11-5 win on Friday night. They jumped out to an early lead on Saturday and did not look back in another high-scoring victory. Milwaukee is 0-5 in their last 5 games overall and 1-4 in their last 5 road games, while the over is 5-1 in their last 6 games overall. The over is 4-1 in Washington's last 5 games overall. The Milwaukee Brewers have completely lost the magic that they had early in the season, and there are no current signs that they are close to regaining it. Meanwhile, Washington has been a great offensive team all year and is red hot right now. The Brew Crew have just fallen off of a cliff over the last week and a half, and I'm not sure what's going to fix them at this point. On the flip side, I'm not a Nationals fan by any stretch, but they'd be the better team in the first 2 games of this series, and until we see otherwise, I have to lean towards Washington here. I have no interest in backing the Brewers in their recent form, as they will enter this game on an 8-game skid. So the Washington Nationals money line is our full game side pick. Washington continues to go over the total at a high clip based on its strong offense. The Nationals have cashed the over in 6 of their last 8 games and have gone over in 5 of their last 7 games against Milwaukee. They have lit up the scoreboard in the first 2 games of this series, and I do not see Sunday's game being any different. Alexander has given up 14 runs over his first 2 MLB starts and now has to face a lineup that ranks second in the majors in batting average. Meanwhile, Washington is having to fill a spot in the rotation due to an injury. This should be another high-scoring game to close the series. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Detroit Tigers. A pair of teams in different situations in their respective divisions in the American League close out a series on the diamond in the Motor City. The Toronto Blue Jays are on the road as they play the final game of a 3-game set with the Detroit Tigers Saturday afternoon. In the opening game of the series Friday night, Toronto rode their power game to pulverize their way to an easy 10-1 victory and draw first blood in the series. Which team comes up with the victory on getaway day here in the Motor City? After the Blue Jays domesticated the Tigers on Friday, their performance was not ideal on Saturday. With the way Toronto has been playing recently, including 10 runs in the series opener, it's hard to imagine how they only scored 1 run yesterday. However, their recent play should provide enough confidence for them to have a great turnaround and get the series win. The reason the Blue Jays are still reasonably priced on the money line is the fact that the Tigers are sending their best option to the mound in Tarik Skubal. There's no doubt that he has been solid this season, but he is far from perfect. His last start was against the Pirates, the second lowest scoring team behind his own Tigers. He still allowed a few runs to them, and now gets the massive bats of George Springer and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's not just that they are great hitters, it's that the Jays are an entire lineup that is great against lefties. Skubal has looked solid against teams like the Guardians, who are among the worst against lefties. Meanwhile, the Jays are a top 5 lineup against such pitchers, and were the absolute best last season. While it's not 2021 anymore, they've been returning to that form after winning 12 of their last 16 games, including an 8-game winning streak. One bad performance should not take away from a team that is heating up and has an advantageous matchup. So the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Predicting totals between these teams is quite interesting. The Blue Jays have one of the most potent lineups, specifically the top half. Springer is chasing the record for the most leadoff home runs, and Vladdy can hit the ball out of the stadium. On the other hand, the Tigers have scored the fewest runs in the league. With Toronto looking to bounce back from Saturday's performance, the trust is in them to take care of the majority of this total, if not all of it. They've already proven to do just that in the series opener, scoring 10 runs themselves. Skubal's name will certainly keep many bettors from trusting the Jays on Sunday, but the matchup against a lefty is still a great one. Even if Bo Bichette and company don't get another double-digit team total, Detroit still proved competent enough to score a few runs yesterday. With Toronto still needing to improve their bullpen, expect a total more like the series opener rather than yesterday's game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.